Good morning, everyone. Good morning, or good day, depending on where you're from. Welcome back to another live stream. How's everybody doing today? Good morning or good day, depending on where you're from. I hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend. Hope everybody's ready to get back to work this week. We have ourselves a full week ahead of us. Who's ready to get back to work? Good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Going to take some time to say good morning to everybody and welcome everybody into the stream before we get into any information here. Let's see who we have here today. Looks like a bunch of familiar faces already. Love to see you all again. Good morning, Trader007. Good morning, Arif. Good morning, AV Dream. Good morning, N Cool. Good morning, Jorit. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, No Luck Pure Skill. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Devil. Good morning, Constantine. Good morning, Mercy. Island Dreams, how are you doing today? Good morning, Mock. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Tanilla. Good morning, Ezekiel. Good morning, Petro. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Got some time to do something fun, do something good for the soul. Spend some time with some family. Good morning, Merry Times Trade. Good morning, Captain Royd. Good morning, Osho. Good morning, UM Trades. Good morning, 420 Ryam. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, The Trader Pivot. How did everybody's weekend go? I don't know about you guys, but we had St. Patty's Day this past weekend. My wife's favorite holiday, actually. So we went down to downtown. We got to go to a little St. Patty's Day parade. Got some good food and drinks. It was beautiful weather. Absolutely beautiful weather. Got to spend some time outside. 75 degrees and sunny. Really couldn't have asked for anything more. It was a beautiful weekend. Great to be home. Great to do something fun. Great to have some great weather. Hopefully everybody else had some great things to do this past weekend. Nothing better than resetting, recharging, taking in, some gratefulness, some appreciation for what we do. Being able to do some of this stuff really is eye-opening. So, love traveling, love seeing new things, love exploring, and it's all because of the business that we've built. So, let's keep working. Let's keep learning. Let's get ready for another new week. New week, new opportunity. We are looking to get 1% better than our prior selves every single week. All right? Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Focus on your own business. Learn, work, gain more experience, and figure out how we're going to take one more step forward this week. Good morning, Tad. Hope your day is going well. The Ash Ketchum. Dang, he stole it right from me. I guess I'm no longer Ash Ketchum. Somebody else has it. Good morning. Hope your day is going well. Man, I need to move to a new country. What country would you move to? What country would you move to if you could move to one? I love exploring, so I've seen a handful of countries and I want to see more. We'll see. Only time will tell. Good morning, or good day, depending on where you're from. Welcome back to another live stream. I'm very excited to get back on here with you all. Another week, another opportunity. We'll see what the market has for us. Let's make sure that we go over the economic calendar so that we understand the news on the week. Let's make sure that we get a weekly outlook prepared. We'll go ahead and update our trading desk. That way we understand what we're looking at heading into the week. Dubai with zero taxes. I don't know if I would want to go to Dubai right now with everything that's going on. Dubai real estate looked like a surefire, profit-making machine until the recent events that are occurring. That will greatly impact some real estate over there. So there's more parts to that story. In Sweden, it's very gray and boring weather. Yeah, it's probably pretty cold in Sweden right now, right? Where I'm at, I'm south. I'm on the east coast of the U.S., but I'm also south. So the weather here stays pretty warm year round. I haven't seen much snow in my time being here, and that was one of the reasons why I came here. So let's get over to the economic calendar. Let's slowly start to get through this information. We're going to have to probably do it a couple times because people will be joining the stream throughout the live stream. So sorry if I repeat myself, but let's slowly start to go through some of the information as we're going back and forth with chat. We got the economic calendar here. All right. We got to make sure we understand the important times of the week every single week. So if you're in the Discords, you'll see that I post the economic calendar at the beginning of every single week. I put it on social media as well. If you're on Twitter or Instagram, you'll see it there. Just like for the YouTube live stream, we're going to go over it now. The red folders are very important. So you can see that I trade NQ and ES. So when I get on the economic calendar, my filters for the economic calendar are revolving around NQ and ES. Okay, that's why I only have USD news showing, because NQ and ES is USD correlated. Therefore, news coming out for CHF or GBP or Euro, none of that is going to play a role like USD news would. So USD news is what I follow. The news that I'm concerned with is red folders or gray folders. Okay. I need to know when bank holidays are. So that's why I have the gray folders. And then red folders are our volatility. So taking a look at the economic calendar this week, looks like we have no news on Monday. We have no news on Tuesday. All right. Hear me clearly. I don't care what anybody else says on social media. You can trade any day that you want to trade. You are literally the one clicking the button for yourself. So you get to make that decision, not other people. A lot of people will say, hey, there's no news on Monday. Avoid that day. I don't agree with that. You could quite literally trade the market 23 hours of the day, every day of the week, except for Saturdays and Sundays. It just comes down to you having a plan, you having a method, and then understanding the volatility, right? The only difference there is if there's no news, then there might be less volatility. But that doesn't change the difference of whether your method appears or not, right? So for example, today we do not have any news, right? You can see it here on the economic calendar. Monday, no news. So understanding the economic calendar, the only thing that I'm thinking is that the volatility that's going to occur today is going to be at 9:30 a.m. So New York Open is never going to be on the news calendar because that's not a news event. It is just when the market opens. But that also has volatility. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is New York Open. And the majority of the participants in the market are allowed to start participating at 9:30 a.m. So that's why there's volatility at that time. So always expect volatility at the opening time, 9:30 a.m., along with these red folders. All right. And even though there's not a red folder today, I will be searching for a position. We'll see what happens at New York Open. The fact that there's no news driver does not mean you cannot take a position. You can trade whenever you want to trade. Hopefully that's with sound risk management, and hopefully that's, following your process and doing your due diligence. But I just want to make it clear that, just because there's no news, that does not mean you cannot trade. So I'm not sure why people say that on social media. The market is literally open 23 hours of the day. All it takes is you clicking a button. So no news on Monday, no news on Tuesday. Now, sure, I'm still going to be more cautious, right? I'll still be more patient because there's no news. But personally, I feel that you should always be cautious and you should always be patient when it comes to trading. You always got to keep your risk managed. So either way, we will be looking for opportunities here at New York Open for both Monday and Tuesday. So it's going to be the same exact story there on Tuesday. No news on Tuesday. Once again, New York Open is going to be important. So make sure you're aware of New York Open. Hey, good morning, Monique. Hope your day is going well. R. Ferna, good morning. How are you doing today? What about CAD news? So I don't trade any assets that are correlated to the Canadian dollar. So I have no reason to look at CAD news. CAD news is not going to affect NQ and ES. Right? USD news is going to affect NQ and ES. So I'm not concerned about CAD news. Caught the IB in London on NQ. Amazing job, Island Dreams. We'll take a look at that in a couple minutes here. Just going to finish the economic calendar and then we'll hop over to that. Very good job. Hopefully it was a winner. Good morning, Mitt. How are you doing today? Good morning, Jesus. How are you doing today? Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. We are going over the economic calendar, and then we're going to get into some of our weekly outlooks. We are slowly getting prepared for today's New York Open. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody's day is starting off well. Slowly getting through the information while going back and forth with chat. So if you do have any questions or information, feel free to throw it in chat as well. Abhishek, good morning. How are you doing today? What is the London IB time? That is 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so Tuesday. No news. Make sure that we're aware of 9:30 open. 9:30 is always going to be an important time, so every single day we need to be aware of New York Open. Good morning, Bear Trader. Hope your day is going well. Wednesday. Wednesday is our important day. Okay? This is clear as day. There's no, there's really no explanation that you need behind this. You have FOMC Wednesday. Right? So yes, PPI is important as well, but not as important as FOMC. So in terms of largest volatile drivers, CPI on average has the largest on average moves. Then non-farm payroll. After that comes FOMC. So here you go. FOMC press conference, FOMC statement, federal funds rate, Wednesday afternoon. Okay, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We need to be aware of this. Okay, I have some scheduled breaks. Okay, the scheduled breaks that I move forward with are CPI, non-farm payroll, FOMC, and bank holidays. A lot of people like to think in terms of reward. I like to think in terms of risk management. So what I'm trying to say is when I see CPI, I don't go, oh my God, that's my chance to have a banger trade. I don't do that. Instead, I think of risk. I say, CPI, that would be the worst time to get something wrong, right? Like imagine your orders getting slipped. You put in a stop loss for $500. CPI comes out. The orders get completely skipped because of how volatile the market is. The market will just go right past your order and never fill you. And now, instead of losing $500, you've lost 2K, 3K. You've blown the account because it skipped your order and then it went to your maximum drawdown. No, thank you. No, thank you. And hear me clearly. Like, I'm a trader just like everyone else here. I've done that. That's why I say these things. When I say certain things, it's because of experience, right? So I've gone through the trial by fire experience. I've tried these things, and those are the reasons why I say that. So, I'd rather just put the work in. I'd rather just, take base hits and try to compound through that than trying to search for home runs all the time. Hey, Nico, good morning. How are you doing today? Sergio, good morning. How's your day going so far? Great to see everybody. I hope everybody's weekend went phenomenal. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the market. Get ready for another great week of work. We're looking to crush another week. So, who else is ready for this week? Who else is ready to crush it this week? Anwar, good morning. Hope your day's going well. So again, with FOMC, another statement that I need to make is that you need to know the difference that FOMC press conference, that is the FOMC that we are concerned with, okay? FOMC minutes meeting is not as volatile as FOMC press conference. Those are two different type of news drivers, okay? So just so you know the difference, I'm not concerned with FOMC minutes meeting. I am concerned with FOMC press conference, all right? Hey, good morning, Aulis. Hope your day is going well. All right, so Wednesday's going to be a big day, hands down. We have our news drivers there on Wednesday. This is not how I'm going to proceed with my analysis, but I'm just making a generalized comment. It looks like the move on the week might happen later on in the week, right? If there's no news drivers on Monday and Tuesday, maybe that's consolidation for FOMC, and FOMC plus unemployment claims is the driver on the week. So it looks like the important time of the week is Wednesday, Thursday. If we see expansion in whatever direction we go, Wednesday, Thursday, these would be the things that would allow it, right? This would give price the volatility it needs to expand. So we shall see. We shall see. Friday, no news. We skipped over unemployment claims. 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, unemployment claims. Okay. And then Friday, no news. So there's your economic calendar for the week. Let's make sure that we remember FOMC on Wednesday. No news today. No news Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday are the big days, and no news on Friday. All right. So let's keep that in the back of our mind for when we're executing. All right. So now let's get over to the daily chart and let's get our weekly outlooks completed for the assets that we cover. All right. Euro did a good job moving lower. I'm still not convinced that the move lower is completed. We do still have another low down here to reach for. Okay, so I need to see what type of daily candle closure occurs here. When I'm looking to analyze the higher time frames, I get on the daily chart. I'm looking at swing highs, swing lows, and FEGs. Those are the locations that I look. And when looking at those locations, I look at what type of price action occurs there. Right? So, for example, the first low that was swept is this one that I'm dragging across the screen now. And when we got there, we had a very bearish candle closure. This does not look like a reversal, right? That does not look like the bulls are trying to flip it here. Okay? All right? So, what I'm trying to say is there's another low to take here. There's another low to take here. I'm not willing to become bullish on euro yet. I would need to see some form of reversal. Okay? All right? So, some form of reversal would be an engulfing candle, right? If we have a bullish engulfing candle, a candle that completely engulfs this down close candle here, right? So if today's daily candle goes and closes up here, that's an engulfing candle, and that's something that looks like a reversal. But that's what I'm trying to say here is that I need more information to even think about becoming bullish. So right now is a moment in time to stick with the trend. Trend is your friend until the end of the trend. So I'm going to look to see here. This is basically my question for euro. This is my question for euro. I want to see if we get a reversal from this swing low. Forget about this arrow. Don't look at that. I'm referring to sweeping the low and seeing if we turn around there. Okay? All right. So we'll let euro go lower, and we'll see what happens after the low is taken out. Go like this for the Discord. Make it a little easier to understand. Okay. Let me get this screenshot. Just be patient with me for a second here. All right. Droxy Trades, good morning. How are you doing today? All right. There's euro. All right, euro. Euro, trend is your friend until the end of the trend. I'll wait for euro to go one move lower below the swing low on the daily. Then we'll look to see if any reversal happens there. The dollar. Dollar did a good job moving higher. At the end of last week, we were looking for continuation, and we got it. And we even took out the highs. Very nice. Very nice. Was that the target? Give me a second. Let me get to my other dollar analysis. Okay, I was using previous day high, which they already took that out. So all right. I want to see this right here on the dollar. We got a bullish FEG below us after sweeping a daily swing high. I want to see if price gets supported by it. That's what I'm looking at for the dollar. We'll see if it wants to come lower, tap into the FEG to then continue the trend. Get a screenshot of that real quick. All right. Let's see if we can get a retracement into the daily bullish FEG to then see if the daily bullish FEG provides any support for continuation for the bulls. So looking to see if the daily bullish FEG provides support for higher prices. Okay. Now we have the dollar and euro completed. All right. All right. Oil. Oil, this thing's still moving. This thing is still moving. Man, $100. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What a move, man. Literally was $70 a week ago. $70. And then it spiked to 120. Wow. Wow. Incredible stuff there. Incredible. Well, is the move over? Right? Is it going to keep spiking, or is this issue going to resolve itself? Right? Like that, you could clearly see how the news is driving this one. If the news slows down, so will this. If the news picks up again, so will this. So let's see. Let's see. As I had mentioned last week, I'm really not looking to participate in oil. I'm not an expert on the economy. I'm not an expert on war. I'm not an expert on news. So this is really news driven right now, and I'm not, covering the war. So I don't really have an opinion here. I don't even want to have a bias because of it, right? If something happens with war, then this thing is going to move, and I'm not aware of that news. So for the individuals putting codes in chat, this is not the location to do that. All right, I'm just asking nicely, but no links, no codes. This is my stream, so leave codes out of chat. That's the only time I'm going to warn on that. All right. I do giveaways here. I have my own codes. I don't need other codes. So I'd appreciate it if you can keep those out of chat. Thank you. Please and thank you. ES and NQ. Now, ES and NQ, this right here gives me a huge problem. Right here. At least NQ has some kind of wick. But let's just talk about that for a second. There's no wick on this candle at all, right? When you see a candle that has no wick, what does that tell you? This right here. What does a no wick candle tell you? So how would you use this information? What does it tell you? What does it make you think? What does that make you think? Seeing that this candle has no wick. Very good, chat. Very good, chat. Almost everybody's... I can't even get anything past you all. Amazing. Amazing work. Absolutely amazing. I think everybody got it correct. So, very, very good job. Absolutely amazing. So, for me, in my opinion, that makes it look like liquidity has not been taken below the opening price, right? almost all candles have wicks, right? So if we just go and take a look, right, like I still haven't found a candle that does not have a wick. Every single candle so far has a wick. I still have not seen a candle without a wick. Even this one, I know it's small, but it's present. It's there. Right? Like I can't even find a candle that does not have a wick. So, what I'm trying to say is seeing that there's no wick below the opening price makes it look like they did not take liquidity below the opening price. Meaning, there is liquidity to take there, right? Right? So that's what it makes me think, is that we're going to go need to visit this level at some point in time. I don't know what that point in time is. But that's not me saying, oh, today we're going to go smashing 63 points lower. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is this is going to be an important draw on liquidity, whether that's today, tomorrow, or maybe they leave that for FOMC on Wednesday. But what it looks like is that they did not grab liquidity below the opening price, which makes it look like there's liquidity resting here, right? So there's a swing low here, and now you have this flat candle here, right? So this is almost even equal lows as well, right there, right? So, and NQ did not go below, yeah, so there's no SMT here either, right? So in my opinion, it just looks like they're leaving liquidity below the opening price there. So this is what I'm going to be looking at for ES and NQ for this reason, is this right here. So we'll look to see if the bearish FVG could be resistance, and then we could go target the no wick. Then we could go target the swing low. Okay, so this is what I'll be looking at for ES and NQ. Looking to see if the bearish FEG can provide a rejection for price. I don't know what's going on with this. Why is this arrow so tough this morning? Whatever. All right, this is what I'll be looking at for ES and NQ. We'll look to see if the daily bearish FEG can provide resistance for price. See if we can get rejected from there to then look for the no wick candle. All right, let's type that out. All right. What if MES has a wick? I don't compare the two. That sounds like information overload. I'm not looking to confuse myself. I've analyzed ES. That's the information that I've gotten. I don't do that comparison thing. All right, got the update in Discord. Is it also a daily suspension block? I have no clue what a suspension block is, so I can't even comment on that one. That also sounds like information overload. I've never even seen a suspension block, heard of a suspension block. That just sounds like a new shiny object syndrome. No, thank you. No clue what a suspension block is. Do you ever use the wick logic in lower time frames? What is the wick logic? We got something new every week, huh? I haven't heard of the wick logic either. Oh, wow. We just started getting a nasty storm, chat. Are you guys able to hear that? Let me know if the wind is ruining the mic. Just let me know if I need to change the settings there. Give me like a thumbs down or something if you can hear the wind and that it's too loud. The rain is literally blowing sideways right now. Hopefully that does not affect anything here. All good? Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is very loud, though. All right. All right, so I'm looking for the same thing there on NQ. I don't really need to repeat myself. It's the same exact analysis as ES. So let me just get a screenshot of this. They canceled schools here. Yeah, I thought I saw something on the news. Is that going to hit the coast as well? Or is that just inland? Is that going to hit the coast? All right, just updating the Discord. All righty. All right. Simplicity is clarity. That is correct. ICT brought it up. Yep, that sounds about right. He's going to have a new concept every single month. It's just marketing. He's got to keep everybody's attention. Volume imbalances included in an FVG equals suspension block. 9 plus 8 times 22 divided by 1 equals the Holy Grail. That's what that sounds like. Like, sounds unnecessary. Price either goes up or down. You gotta click the buy button or the sell button. When are you rolling over to the June contract? So take a look at the contract that I'm using. Right, I use the continuous. So that is not an issue that I have to worry with. Right, so another information overload thing. I'm not sure why everybody uses the monthly contracts because then you have to make that decision of when to roll over when you could just use the continuous contract, right? Continuous contract. Have balance adjust on so that whenever there's a rollover, the continuous contract will automatically adjust for contract changes. All right, so another decision that we can completely get rid of and not have to worry about simply by using the continuous contract and having B adjust on. Does 6B correlate with any other assets? Yeah, 6B is GBP, right? Yep, so GBP is correlated with Euro. So 6E is Euro, right? Yep, so 6B and 6E are correlated. Euro and GBP. Euro and GBP. Chat, if you'd be okay with it, I would like to get a cup of water as well to go along with my coffee. That way I can be prepared for New York Open. If you don't mind, if you could just give me 2 minutes to go grab some water as well, and then we'll finish the analysis and keep going back and forth in chat. Just give me 2 seconds, please and thank you. I'll be right back. Alrighty, chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for the slight interruption. Where are we? Let's take a look. Alrighty. Let's take a look. Does 6B... Okay, we just did the correlation. Ash, Globex yesterday. Let's take a look at Globex. What did we have for Globex? All right, Globex. If you're talking about the IB, that's what I'm going to refer to here. So let's take a look. $1,800. Oh, wrong tool. 1,800. Where's 1,900? 1,800 to 1,900. Okay. Globex IB. Beautiful. It looks like it only retraced into the 25% level. Let's take a look. That's the wrong 25%. Which one do I need here? So, beautiful long, right? So, looking at the IB set the low first and the high second. So, we would know that this is a long position because the low was set first and the high was set second. Now, for anybody that uses 50% of the IB, price left without you. Price left without you. After the IB was set, price only retraced into the 25 to about 30% level before running to the target, right? This would be the target, which would be the IB high, right? So unless you're entering early at, what is that, 30%, maybe 35%, unless you're entering early, this one left without you, okay? If you were waiting for the 50% level, it never gave that entry. So very good to see that the model played out correctly. It just got front ran, right? So what is that level? Let's see if that's like 0.30 or 0.40. Just take a look real quick. So not quite 40. 35 to 40, right? So it retraced about 40%, not quite 50. So you'd have to front run the 50% IB there, right? So beautiful move. And the target was completed after an entry was given. You just would have had to front run it. Change the name of the stream to avoid information overload. Yeah, that should be. Ash, how are you doing? What are you giving away today? Am I only good for giveaways? Is that what you're saying? Should we slow down on the giveaways? Are you saying you're only showing up for a giveaway? Jeez. Man, I guess I'm only here for the giveaways. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, lucky for you, I am still giving away something. It's just over here. You're going to have to go to my Twitter for it for today. Take a look right here. So, if anybody wants to participate, take a look. 3 times 50K Lucid Flex accounts. All you have to do is go onto the Twitter, complete the entry criteria. The winners for this will be announced on Friday. All right, so if you haven't entered that already, all you have to do is number 1, number 2, and number 3. And you'll be entered into that giveaway, and that will be announced on Friday. Now, I want to do some even bigger giveaways, to be completely honest. I was thinking about maybe 20K on YouTube. Maybe at 20K doing something large. Maybe either a cash giveaway, a PC giveaway, a monitor giveaway. I was thinking about doing something large for 20K on YouTube. We're still 1.7K away from that, so we still have some time to even get there. But I'm thinking about doing a massive giveaway for 20K on YouTube. So do me a favor, sub to the channel, like the video. Let's get to 20K so that we could do something better than account giveaways. Let's do something. Personally, I think I want to do a PC. Get somebody a new PC. So we'll see if you guys want to get to 20K. Good morning, Umar. Hope your day is going well. Bro, do you risk less when you trade setups other than Unicorn? So the risk has been less on the initial balance. That's because this is the first time that I've ever used that strategy. So if you were here in the beginning of 2026, I had mentioned wanting to try to trade other models. And the initial balance is the one that has been happening. So we are still trading the unicorn, and we are also trading the initial balance. Since I need to gather more data on the initial balance, I have not been using minis. Okay, I've been focusing on using micros because I'm not as familiar with the strategy as other people are. I've spent multiple years with the unicorn model, right? So I have conviction in that model, and I have data backing it, right? That I'm fine with. That I have conviction for. The initial balance is new. It is new, and I need to collect the data for that. And instead of back testing, right, I would rather be trading live, putting real risk on the market. We just need to do it appropriately so that we can obtain enough data to get that conviction. And in my opinion, you need about a year's worth of data, okay? Because the market is very cyclical, all right? It goes through different phases. Sometimes it's expanding. Sometimes it's retracing. Sometimes it's consolidating. And you need to gather data through each one of those market environments. And that's why I'm saying risk appropriately so that you can obtain that amount of data, a year's worth of data, right? You have to survive for a year, right? Or are you just going to blow up right now, right? So risk appropriately so you can even obtain a year's worth of data. All right. IB London too. Yeah, let's take a look at London's IB. So London, hopefully you guys are talking about NQ because I've only been on NQ so far. London is 3 a.m. So let's grab this here. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. So here it comes. Wow. Wow, that's gorgeous. Holy. This is beautiful. All right. London IB on NQ. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. All right. Wow. This is gorgeous. Very good job. Chat, who caught this? Throw a 1 in chat if you caught the London IB on NQ. Throw a 1 in chat if you caught this beautiful short here. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Throw a 1 in chat if you caught this W. So London IB, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see that the high was set first, right there at 3 a.m. The low was set second at 3:30 a.m. Right? IB closes 4 a.m. Right? And then entering shorts from 50% of the range, targeting range low. This is a W. This is a very, very beautiful W. Yeah, you would have had to deal with some drawdown, right? If you entered on this candle here, it did go into drawdown, but it never hit your stop loss, right? So the only reason why you'd get stopped out here is because you're too large of size and you didn't position accordingly for where the invalidation is. Yeah, it does go into drawdown, but after the drawdown, it hits the target before hitting your stop loss. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Multiple entries at 50%, right? Both of these candles right here. You have two different short entry opportunities at 50%. And after those two short opportunities, the low of the range gets taken out before the high of the range. So this is a TP. There should be no reason why this is not a TP other than you being oversized and not using invalidation correctly, right? If you left your position, if you got scared out of your position right here, you're trading your emotions and you're not trading the model. Plain and simple. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we did have people catch the W. Let's go, chat. Very good job, Robert. Very good job, Island Dreams. Let's go. Let's go. Unfortunate for me because I'm sleeping during that time. So I did not even get to see that. That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to join the giveaway. And if I win, could you send me some piano notes with the account? That's how you know No Luck Pure Skills and OG. I wonder who in chat at this point knows about the piano. Although it wasn't that long ago. It was during 2025, and we're here in 2026 now. So I'm curious to see. That's going to have to go on like the trivia whenever we have trivia night. PC with 128 gigabyte RAM. Yeah, isn't RAM like through the roof right now? Heavily overpriced? All right, so we got about 30 minutes before New York opens. Just a friendly reminder, I do have my Funded Futures live stream today. That's at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have about until 10 to 10:15, and then I'm going to grab some breakfast before the next live stream. But just to give a heads up, I do have both live streams today. So I will be heading out around 10 a.m. today so that I can have a short break before the second live stream. Ash, you promised piano lessons at 20K. Well, is it time to get on the piano? Is it finally time to actually get the piano going? That's hilarious. All right, hold on. Talking about trivia, one quick trivia question, and then we'll get back to focusing on price. I want to see who the real OG is. Who the real OGs are. Let's see how far back you guys can go. What was my name, whether it's on Discord or Twitter or anywhere, what was my name before Ash Ketchum? Who was around for that? Who was around for that? What was my online name before Ash Ketchum? I don't know if there's that real of OGs in chat. You got to be a super OG at that point. Super OG. And just for anybody that doesn't know, that was like, what was that? That was like 5 to 7 years ago. Let me do this real quick. Let me take a look at this. I'm going to take a look at something real quick. Nobody's going to know that one. And it's slightly a trick question. Nobody's going to know that one. That's the person who should win the PC giveaway. 6 years ago. 6 to 8 years ago. Holy cow. All right. I might as well just retire. I'm getting close to retirement. 6 to 8 years ago. Wow. That's just crazy to think. It's crazy to think. We started the Discord 7 years ago. And I've been on Discord for 8 years. It's going to be a decade soon. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Where did the time go? All right, nobody's gotten it correct, so yeah, white chocolate definitely needs to pipe in here, and he hasn't. He knows. I know he knows. All right, I knew nobody was gonna get it. You guys aren't real OGs. You guys are not real OGs. That's messed up. I thought you guys were OGs. Whatever. Whatever. It was my government name. It was just my normal name. So it was kind of a trick question. It was just my normal name. So the name that you see on my payout certificates was my name across all the social medias and Discord and whatnot. Dang. All right. That makes me think, I just want to do one other thing. Sorry for the interruption, but I want to see one more thing. Custom range before. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, hold on. Let's do 4 years. I want to see. All right, let's see. 4 years, 316. Dang, I don't see any OGs, not even 4 years ago. All right, let's try 3 years ago. Okay, okay. And one more. All right, sorry for the interruption. That was just an interesting topic, so I had to check real quick. Lots of 3 years ago, lots of OGs there though. 3 years ago. Now I'm seeing some familiar faces. Yeah. 2 to 3 years ago is what it looks like. But people weren't there for 6 years ago. Well, all I have to say is who knows the saying about the bamboo? Who knows the saying about the bamboo? Who knows the saying about the bamboo? Takes 3 to 5 years for bamboo to even grow. So it's below the ground for 3 to 5 years before it ever shows itself. Three to 5 years. And that one was actually a serious comment. And that goes to show you, for all the traders that are still trying to learn this business, give yourself time. Seriously. You know, if you haven't made it yet, whether it's your first week, your first month, your first year, your first couple years, give yourself time, because the more time you give yourself, the more experience that you'll be able to collect, the more data that you will have to build conviction. So if you haven't made it yet, keep working. No matter what, fail forward. Learn every single day. Take every single opportunity as another chance to get 1% better, and learn from every single opportunity. Why did you get muted? You didn't get muted. That's why I could see your comment right there. All right. Any questions, any information before New York opens, throw it into chat so we can go over it. If not, we got about another 20 minutes before New York opens. We're going to be looking for a position there. We're just simply waiting for New York open, and then we're going to start hunting. We're going to start hunting. Bias. Yep, so we went over bias already. We're looking for lower prices here on NQ. Okay, I want to see if... This is what I want to see. I want to see if we can go tap into this bearish FEG, and I want to see if that area can act as resistance. So something like this. So I'm looking for lower prices on NQ and ES. I want to see if it could tap into this bearish daily FEG, see if that bearish daily FEG can act as resistance for lower prices. All right, so you could also see it here on ES. It's the same exact thing because it's correlated pair. Oil, I have no bias for. Dollar, I'm looking to see if the bullish FEG could provide support for continuation. So if we get a move lower, I want to see if that provides support to then continue higher. And then euro. Euro, don't let this confuse you. Maybe I should have drawn this out a little bit better. I want euro to go lower, below this low. After it goes lower, then I want to see what type of reaction occurs here. So maybe that's a little bit confusing. This is what I'm looking for. Maybe I should fix that arrow in my Discord as well. But I want to see euro go lower to this low first. That's the first thing that I want to see happen. Then when it gets there, I want to see what happens at that location. So down first, then up for euro. Down, then up. We'll see. We shall see. Let's see what New York Open has for us. About another 18 minutes, so we'll see. If you have any questions or information, feel free to throw it in chat. We can go over any portion of this business. It truthfully does not matter how beginner, intermediate, or advanced the questions are. I'm gladly willing to help, so throw any type of questions or information in the chat. I'm new here. How long have you been trading? I've been trading for 7 years. I've been trading for 7 years. Do you share P&L somewhere? Yeah, you could just watch my trade on the chart, and you could watch the P&L go up and down. So if a trade happens, I take it right here on the screen. You can see the results to it there. Do we have any giveaways today? Yeah, it's over on Twitter, right here. Take a look. All you got to do is go over to the Twitter and complete the entry criteria. Today's is on Twitter. Twitter. Matt, for guys with no friends, who are you going to tag in the Twitter giveaway? Tag anybody. Doesn't have to be a friend. Just tag somebody. We shouldn't take any trades today, right? It's Monday, and we had CPI. Okay, CPI was the Canadian. First of all, we're not concerned with Canadian news, right? CPI, that's Canadian news. Okay, I'm not concerned with Canadian news because I trade NQ and ES. So I'm only considered with USD news. Okay, so yes, I am going to be looking for trades. The Canadian CPI does not affect my ability to take trades on NQ and ES. NQ and ES is correlated to USD news, not Canadian news. Today, you trade IB model or unicorn model or both of them when it forms. It'll never be both of them because I only take one trade per day. So I'm not the type of individual that takes 20 trades in one session. I take one trade per day. So it will either be the unicorn or the IB. I'm only taking one trade today, and it's going to be one of those models if they present themselves. Are you looking for sells? Well, I'm bearish on NQ and ES. Here's the bias on the day, but I cannot tell what price is going to do. I can't tell the future. So instead of forcing my opinion upon price, I will simply wait for New York Open. And when New York Open appears, that's when I'm going to start reading price like a book. Just read it from left to right. If it provides an entry, I'll take it. If my model does not present itself, then I will not take a trade. So it doesn't matter if you have a bias. Having a bias does not mean you should automatically take a trade. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though I'm looking for lower prices, that doesn't justify immediately taking a trade. All right? I still need to be able to recognize my model so that I can measure my risk. If the risk, it fits my risk management, then I'll take the trade, right? I don't just try to influence price with my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see what New York Open has. We're going to read it like a book. Be objective to it. Got to make sure my Instagram reel got posted. Give me a couple seconds here. Okay, it did. Very nice. Just make sure I get that. All right, give me a second. I got to get this over on Twitter. Give me a second. I'm getting the Twitter post out. Getting the new reel up. Alrighty. There we go. Nice. Nice. We're moving along this morning, chat. We are ready to go for New York Open. Well, what is going to happen is we are going to sweep previous day high, tap into the daily FEG, see ES fail to sweep it since it's the weakest asset. That would be great, but I'm not here to do guarantees. There is no such thing as a guarantee in this market. Price can and will do whatever it wants whenever it wants to. So it's great to have a game plan, but make sure that you can remain fluid with the market. Don't force yourself upon it. When do you set break even on IB? If you're 50 to 75 points into profit, feel free to go break even. What's with the British accent? I don't know where that came from. I have no clue. Twitter. I don't know. That just kind of happened. What are the times you select a 1 minute unicorn? That is data backed, right? So if you have not collected enough data proving that the 1 minute chart is where you execute the most, that is what makes that decision, right? So it's not a emotionally based decision. It's not influenced by the market. It is data backed. So if you have not collected data showing you that the 1 minute time frame is where you execute the best, then why even go on the 1 minute time frame? So look at your data for that. It's not an emotionally based decision. It's not a market based decision. It's a data based decision. Hey, Ash, in the daily chart, when you mark FEGs, you don't take volume imbalances into consideration. No, I don't. It always seems like everybody's trying to add too much information. I don't know where this is coming from, but like if you're always trying to look for some kind of holy grail, it only makes things harder. So, try to simplify is what I'm saying. Stop trying to add and try to start simplifying. All right. Did you roll over your contracts already? I'm on the continuous contract. Okay, so another thing in terms of information overload that you do not have to worry about, right? There's no reason to even deal with that because you can just use the continuous contract and turn balance adjust on, right? So instead of thinking, oh, when do I need to roll over? I don't need to even think about that because my contract adjusts for the new contract because I'm on the continuous one and I have balance adjust on. So more information overload that you do not have to deal with. Continuous contract. You can just see the difference here. ES1 exclamation point. That's what shows you that it's the continuous. Hey, good morning, Andres. How's your day going so far? I backtested 3 months of data on IB50. Win rate is 67. Of course it's 67. Was that a joke or was it actually 67? I know that's the new thing for kids nowadays, 67, right? See, you guys think I'm old, but I'm not. I'm with the trends. Results were 31 wins, 4 losses, 10 break-evens, 30 no entry days. Very nice. Very nice. Optimizing, aka trying to avoid losers, only subtracts. Yeah, listen, if you're going to think that there's always something to fix, then you're never going to have a defined model, right? Like if you're refining all of the time, then you're going to be changing your model day in and day out. Kids, bro is old. Unk. Thank you, Aulis. I could definitely count on Aulis for the unk comment. Hey, Ash, good morning. Are you going to be streaming every day at 8 a.m.? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m., right here on the YouTube channel. Okay? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are for the premium group. Matt asks, can you trade continuous contracts on Tradeovate? I've been trading on TradingView, so I would need to go and look for that information. I haven't traded on Tradeovate platform in some time now. I've always focused on the TradingView platform. Wait until the baby is born and Ash starts the Bluey model. Is Bluey like kids' toys or something? What's Bluey? A show. It's gonna be my first little one, so I don't know any of the toddler terms yet. Yeah, here comes the Bluey model. Very excited. I can't wait for that day. That's when I go from unk to dad. I don't know how that changes, but no longer unk. Father Matthew. That's what we'll say. Father Matthew, even though I'm not religious. It's an animated dog. It's got, all right, I'll switch it from an animated dog to an animated unicorn. And then I'm going to contact Bluey and I'm going to say, partner with me. The new Bluey. The new Bluey. All right, New York Open's coming up here. Let's get prepared, chat. Ash, today, run the dog race on stream. What is that? Is that... All right, maybe I'm not up to date as much as I thought I was. There's dog races now? What is that? Chat, what do you think for New York Open? We got 1 minute left here. Throw a 1 in chat if you're bullish for New York Open. Throw a 2 in chat if you're bearish for New York Open. Let's see what you guys think. Are we going higher or lower here in a couple minutes? Ash, you don't use YM as SMT? No, I don't even look at YM. I'm a firm believer of less is more. Right? That quite literally why I only have these on my watch list. To be completely honest, I don't even trade dollar and oil. Those are only there because the community always asks me about it. Like, I really only focus on ES and NQ. I really only focus on ES and NQ. Okay, couple ones, couple twos. Seems pretty 50-50 so far. Well, here comes New York Open, chat. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we're going to get today. New York Open. Let's go. Let's go, chat. Let's see if we can find something here. See if we can find something here this morning. All right. Brought you guys down the elevator, down to the first floor. Now we're on the trading floor because New York has opened. Let's see what we get here today. Ash, have you backtested IB and Globex hours? Yes, I have. Some very favorable results so far. I don't know if it's just on a hot streak or if that's actually how it works, but Globex has been quite favorable as of recent. Globex is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. (6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe I'll have to start getting the live stream going for afternoon streams too, because Globex is a good one. All right, throwing a quick reminder out to the community that we are live. See if anybody wants to join for New York Open. Let's see. Let's go, New York. Show me a trade here. All right. What are we going to get here today, chat? All right, we're a couple minutes into New York Open. Has anybody taken a trade yet? Are you guys already smashing the market buy button? What's everybody doing here? Took a long. No trade so far. Waiting for 9:45. No trade so far. No clear bias. Waiting for next 4-hour candle. Okay. Let's see what we're going to get here. Hello, Ash. Hey, what's up, Adriana? How's your day going so far? I am currently waiting. I wanted to see if we can get a bearish move. So far, New York open and NQ ran above the high. Looks like ES might try to go for it too. We will see. Simply just waiting to start the day. NQ doing a good job moving higher. Let's see where that daily FEG is at. We still have some room. All right, it's still marked up here, so more than enough room to previous day high. %50 done on the eval. Wow, congratulations. Very good job. Was that from this morning? Wow. Very good job. All right. What are we going to get here today? Just waiting, chat. Just being patient, waiting to see what develops. New York has opened, so let's see what it gives us. See what it gives us. I do want to know if ES runs above this high as well, right? I want to see if that'll be SMT or not because NQ already ran above that high. So we need to see if ES runs above that high. See what happens. We will see what happens. See if ES pushes through that high as well. I want to see if it does or does not because that could be SMT there. Potential for that to be SMT, so waiting to see what happens there. ES looking to be the weaker pair so far this morning. Is that a 5-minute uni with SMT at the lows? Personally, I'm not looking for a long here. I could see what you're saying in terms of this being a breaker in here. My issue is that I'm bearish, and I need to know if this is going to be bearish SMT as well. So yes, the formation is there. We need this current candle to close to confirm the FEG, right? FEG plus breaker equals unicorn. So it's not confirmed yet, right? Because the FEG needs to be confirmed. So if they invalidate this right here, then no, it's not a unicorn at all. So still just a time to be patient. We'll see what happens. Let's see what this next 5-minute candle closure looks like. Yeah, you are correct. It has potential. This right here has potential. Right, so if they get the candle closure for this, right, on ES or NQ, it is both. It's on both. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. All right, so it did close with the FVG on both NQ and ES. So that does look like a bullish unicorn there. But I'm not, right? So in the beginning of the stream, I had mentioned being bearish. So I'm just not interested in taking this. I will be patient here. I'm not looking too long here. So I will not be taking that position. I'm in my live account right now, so you guys will be able to see what position I hop into, right? Because you'll just see it right there on the stream. Alrighty. ES is running. Good. No more bearish SMT there. Maybe we do have a chance to push higher then. NQ starting to lag here, though. Not sure what that is about. Looks like we're telling two different stories here. NQ's getting a bit of a wick here on the 15-minute, making it look a little indecisive compared to ES. ES is... It looks like it might have switched to strength there. ES was looking weak to start the morning, but now ES is the one pushing higher, whereas NQ's stalling here. NQ is stalling here. Excuse me. Hello, I am late to the party. Nope, you are right on time. There is no better time than the present. There is no better time than right now. Right this very second. Let's see what we get here. Chat, have you caught anything? Are you done for the day already? If you caught something, were they longs or were they shorts? What'd you catch so far this morning? Personally, I'm still waiting. I'm not convinced on the move higher. NQ is just stalling. Not sure what's going on here. Still making me think that I'd rather be looking for a bearish setup. So we'll wait to see. Like if NQ and ES were moving higher together at the same time, then I would be more interested in being bullish, right? Two correlated assets should be moving the same at the same time. So seeing ES move higher while NQ is just stuck here, that makes me question the move higher. That makes me question the move higher, so I'm waiting. Plus 700 on ES long. Let's go, Alan. Let's go, Alan. Congratulations. If you got green on the day, I would stay green. Is that in a funded account? Right? Specifically if it's in a funded account, because that's one day closer to another payout. I have a payout request with FTMO tomorrow. Let's go. The Prince. Let's throw a bunch of W's in chat for the Prince. Let's go. Congratulations. Less is truly more. That is correct. Patience is truly a virtue. Congratulations on the payout. Do not, hear me clearly, do not do anything in between now and then that's going to ruin that payout. Do not click any more buttons. All right, just be done and wait until that money hits your bank account. All right? Congratulations. There's the move from NQ. All right, looks like the unicorn might have paid off there. So, if anybody took the bullish unicorn, cheers to Vidal. I'm pretty sure Vidal is the one that pointed that out. Cheers to Vidal. What a move from the bullish unicorn. Very good job. W for Vidal. W for Vidal. Let's go. And you're looking at, what is that? 40 points already? Be my guest. 40 points if you want to be done for the day. 40 points on NQ is gorgeous. Very good job, Vidal. $400 unfunded and $300 on the Lucid giveaway. Let's go. Congratulations, Alan. Very good job. Hey, Ash. I have my model from the 2022 model, but I just have one problem. My psychology. Tell me something I should do consistently to make it in trading. Okay. What are you like in real life? Okay, because your real life character is going to be mirrored on this chart. Okay? The person you are in real life is going to show on this chart. So if you are impatient, if you are impulsive, if you do not have any discipline, all of those things are going to show on this chart. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, if you don't go to the gym 3 days a week, every single week, then it's hard for me to believe that you have discipline, right? Because discipline is doing something you don't always want to do, but you do it anyways because you know it's good for you, right? The gym. You don't always want to go there because you're tired or not motivated or it takes too much work. But you know that working out is good for you. But you know that being healthy is going to help you, right? So that's what I'm trying to say is in real life, if you do not have discipline, you're not going to have discipline on this chart. So start in real life. Start going to the gym 3 times a week, every single week, if you don't already. Another example, that one was for discipline. Now let's do an example for patience, right? If you don't have patience on this chart, it's probably because you don't have patience in real life. If you want to work on patience in real life, go read a book, right? A lot of people are not capable of sitting down and reading a chapter from a book every single day because they think it's boring, because it takes too long, because it takes effort, right? Another example of patience would be like when you have a conversation with somebody, do you talk over them? Or do you let them finish their sentence, you let them finish talking, and then you respond to them, right? One person seems patient and the other person seems impulsive. The person that speaks over you, instead of waiting until you're done, that seems a little impulsive. Just wait, right? So those would be a couple things, and we can go down the whole list, but like those are, what I'm trying to say is those are examples that will help you become more consistent in trading that you can work on outside of the chart. Because that's the goal, is to build that character in real life and bring that here to the chart. The chart is not going to be the thing that builds that character. The chart is going to be a reflection of your already existing character. Okay, so build that character in real life, then bring it over here. That's what I would have to say about that. That would help you become more consistent. Ash, I already read the unicorn model strategy from your PDF and WAP. There is any updated playlist here on YouTube to reinforce the learnings. On my YouTube page, there is an entire unicorn model playlist. So if you haven't watched that already, that is definitely another option. Ash, do you share bias in the free Discord? Yep, if you go to the free Discord and check the analysis tab, that is where I put my charting analysis. NQ sold out at 24,720. So, looks like you're able to grab some green. Is that correct? Very good job, Chris, if you did. All right, so as everybody could see, because we are on the same chart here, I've yet to take any positions. I'm still waiting. Not convinced on the move up here. I had a bearish bias heading into the market, and that's what I'm waiting on here. I want to see if it rolls over. I want to see if we can get a bearish move. We still have Asia lows down here to target as well. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm just being patient to start the week. It is Monday. I'm not in a rush. I'm just waiting. We'll see if we get a bullish or bearish IB setup. I want to see what the IB tells us as well, along with the bias that I provided during pre-market. So I'm ready for a trade. I will be looking to execute. I'm simply just being patient to start the week. You don't need to hop into a position the very first moment the market opens. I can tell you that. If you're going to fall into the impatience, if you're going to fall into the impulsiveness, this is going to be a very rough road. Okay? You do not need to be in a position all the time. You do not need to take a position every single day. Figure out what is going to keep you here in the long term. What we need to do is survive. Okay, so figure out a way to survive until tomorrow, and you do that by position sizing accordingly and not over trading. Do you execute on the 5-minute or go down to the 1-minute for better entries? I've executed on every single time frame. There's been times where I've taken weekly positions. There's times where I've taken daily positions. There's times where I've taken hourly positions, 15-minute positions, 5-minute positions, 1-minute positions. I do not sit there and say, oh, the 1-minute time frame is better for entries than the 5-minute time frame. No, I don't do that. I execute my model, right? So if the model is present on the 5-minute chart, that is the chart that I'll execute on. If the model is present on the 15-minute chart, that is the time frame that I'll execute on. What is IB? IB is the initial balance. It is the first 1 hour of New York Open, so 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. We analyze the low and the high of the first 1 hour. Chat, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Got 230 people in here, but only 100 likes. Hit the like button. Turn the notifications on. Hit the sub button. We're probably going to do a pretty large giveaway at 20K subs. I'm going to make some announcement posts for that as well. But if you're getting any value from the live streams or from any of the giveaways that we do here, hit the like button, hit the sub button. We're going to be doing this throughout the entire year. So let's continue to keep showing up, working and learning every single chance we get. So far, I'm being patient to start the week. I'm waiting to see if a bearish position gets set up. I know you can see what is on the screen. This is because of one of the viewers. The viewers pointed out a position, so I analyzed it for them. For me, you can see that I'm in my live account. There's no position on the chart. That's because I'm waiting. Being patient to start the week. Still looking for executions. Just not willing to risk right this moment. So I'm waiting and I'm being patient. As I'm waiting and being patient, if you guys have any questions or comments, if there's any type of information you'd like to go over, feel free to throw it in chat. When I go to execute, you'll be able to see the executions right on the screen. So that is pretty clear, pretty easy to understand. Simply just waiting for this moment. Still pushing higher so far. NQ finding support from that bullish unicorn there. Once again, very good job, Vidal. Very good job, Vidal. Why are you longing the weakest asset? Do you see a position on the screen right now? Do you see any P&L fluctuating? Do you see any orders, or do you see any type of execution on the screen? No, you don't, because there is no position, right? I'm not longing the weakest asset. I am not in a position right now. You can just see it on the screen. Sorry to ask, must someone be from the US to qualify for giveaways? You got to check the prop firm that I'm doing the giveaway for. Each prop firm has their restricted countries. So it depends on which prop firm you're talking about. You are misleading the people. That's just hilarious. I don't know how to be any more clear, right? I just told you that I'm not in a position. There is no position on the screen. You can see I'm in my live account. There's no executions on the screen. I told you that I wasn't taking the long. I told you that I was pointing to the long because another viewer mentioned it. Couldn't be any more clear, to be completely honest. Don't know where the confusion is there. Can you talk a bit about how you've learned to be patient and wait for the best entry? It's just time, right? The more time that you spend in this market, the more conviction that you'll have, the more experience that comes with it. Just collect more data. Collect more data. It comes with time. Conviction is built through experience. Ash, another backtesting session? Yeah, we could definitely set up another backtesting session. Without a doubt. We could definitely do that. So far, we made the low first. So far, we have made the low first. If you're looking at the initial balance, right, the low is set there at 930. But we don't know because the first hour has not been completed yet. So we don't know which one was set first or second because the range has not been completed yet. Yeah, guys, seriously, look. Here's what an order looks like. We're just going to show you real quick. Ready? See this right here? Right? Take a look at this. Ready? Order, sell. This is what an order on the screen looks like, right? So if I were to execute a position, you can see the order on the screen, right? All right, so let's do, look, canceling the order, right? Because I'm not taking that position. There's no confusion here. All you got to do is look at the screen, right? If I'm, now I'm just going to do this just to show you guys the difference, right? Just to show you the difference, I'm not taking the position. The only reason why I'm doing this is to show you what the difference is here. Ready? Market, buy, right? So this is what being inside of a position looks like. Ready? Look, I click the button. You see P&L fluctuating, right? There's P&L fluctuating. This is what taking a position looks like. All right? So when this is not on the screen, right? When this is not on the screen, there's no position. Because I do it all live right in front of you. So this over here, it's very clear, right? There's no position on the screen. There's no P&L fluctuating. That means I'm not in this position. It's really, really simple stuff. So other than the fact that I quite literally say, hey, I'm not taking this position, or hey, I am taking this position. There is no, confusion there. $13 win though, W. Yeah. W. Yeah, see, I told you guys. I told you that was going to be a winner. No, that's just sarcasm. That's just sarcasm. Why do you size so small? What is my size? Tell me. Why how is my size so small? What is my size? You'll make no money. This dude Malak is just trolling this morning. Trolling. Trolling. Decent move so far. The Bulls are still in control so far. Still don't have anything yet on my plate. I'm going to keep waiting. We'll see what the IB says. So far, the low has been set first. The high has been set second. Right? So moving away from the unicorn. This is what the IB looks like so far. It's not 1030 yet, so it's not confirmed yet. But this is what the IB would look like. Right? And so to engage with the IB, we would still need to keep waiting. It's not 1030 yet. It's not 1030 yet. All right, so still just waiting. Still just waiting. So I do have just a couple more minutes here before I close up the live stream. As I mentioned earlier this morning, I have the My Funded Futures live stream coming up at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely follow me over there. I'm about to have an amazing conversation with Forex Ike. Me and Forex Ike are going to talk about some of his trading. This individual has been dealing with a bunch of negative RR. I can't wait to have this conversation because everybody loves to talk about risk to reward. This individual uses negative risk to reward and he's obtaining payouts. So I'm very interested to see what he has to say. That conversation will be starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So, chat, I am going to wrap this up, but hear me clearly. I'm waiting. I don't know if I can make it any more clear. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting, right? No position yet this morning. I'm going to look to see what happens at 10:30. All right? I want to see what the IB says. If the IB gets confirmed, then I will look to take a trade. You'll be able to see it right on the screen over at My Funded Futures live stream because I also do it on the screen over there as well. So, come take the trade with me. Come watch it live actually happen, right? Full transparency. You can just see it on the screen. No confusion. Come join me over on the My Funded TV live stream at 10:30. We'll have the discussion with Ike. We'll look to take a trade. So far, no trade this morning. I'm waiting for the IB to get set. Once the IB gets set, then I'll look to take a trade. You'll be able to see all of the executions right on the live stream. All right, so thank you all for your time today. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to go ahead and get a quick snack before that next live stream. But let me throw this in the chat real quick. Give me a second here. Let me throw the link to that one. All right, here's the link to the My Funded Futures live stream. Give me a second here. All right, there's the link to the My Funded Futures live stream. We're going to continue this conversation over there. So do me a favor. Meet me over on the My Funded Futures live stream in a couple minutes. I'm going to go grab a quick snack, and then we're going to continue the conversation over there. Thank you all for your time today. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. We're going to be doing this throughout the entire year. All right, so this isn't the first. This is not the last. We have a lot more of these to do throughout the year. So let's keep showing up. Let's keep working. Let's keep learning. I will see you all over on the My Funded Futures live stream very shortly. Have a nice day, chat.